if it's a hissy fit, then is it not also a hissy fit to say, oh, you don't want sexual perversion forced onto your child? You must hate Asians and black people. You must hate minorities. Like, what are you talking about? What on earth are you talking about, Gavin?
The hissy fit was a couple weeks ago in Nashville when a trans person went and killed a bunch of Christians. Yeah. Right? That's the hissy fit. Give me a goddamn break.
No, it was a hissy fit when they were burning down Minneapolis, remember? And store owners were like, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to rebuild? And they were calling that a hissy fit too.
It's
infuriating. It's infuriating.
This is all a big, charade of calling us out for when we get upset. But the reality is that they've learned from the Bud Light thing. So
no, I think something happened. They said there were confrontations. I think regular parents that we don't know these stories. I don't think there's videos. I think regular people walked in and saw the weird sexualized stuff for kids and said, hey, what are you doing? I'm not bringing my kids here. And so the left keeps trying to argue that none of this is inherently sexual when quite literally LGBT is a reference to a person's sexual proclivities.
Literally.
So when they put that in a display with children's clothing on it, expressing these ideas, if imagine if they had a bondage section for kids. Mm-hmm. Not I'm saying they're identical, these things, right? Someone
both are perversions, both are sick perversions.
Well, I'm not saying that. You can say that. What I'm saying is there's a difference, but they're both sexually themed things that in and of themselves don't directly show sex. What I mean to say is telling someone that someone is gay, they're going to ask a question. Okay, well then what does that mean? It's like, okay, well, now we're going to get into the birds and the bees.
Sure.
Showing someone bondage gear, you say, this is just chains and silly clothing. But what is it for? Okay, now we're going to talk about the birds and the bees. Actually, we're talking about kink. So in some ways, a lot worse. Imagine if they put items on display which were intended for use in a sexual context. That, you know what I mean? Like the parents would be like, no, that's what the left is trying to lie about. They're saying it's not inherently sexual. Then when we've seen the videos from Pride where the guy's wearing the Bugs Bunny mask and jumping around naked. Like, come on, man.
Well, here's the thing. If it wasn't inherently sexual, they wouldn't be so obsessed with trying to force it onto children, and they wouldn't lose their minds when adults push back against it, because the thing they claim is being attacked is their sexuality.
Yeah.
So here's what I think happens.
If this wasn't sexual, it wouldn't be the hill they were dying on.
Here's what I think happens. I think regular people walk into Target, see it, and go, kids, no, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Well, here's what really, I was thinking about this today, about the whole thing. Remember the days when we just got upset that they were putting Christmas stuff out like right after Halloween?
Yeah.
And now it's like, I don't even know what is LGBTQ month. Apparently it's June. So this is why it's out.
It's coming up. Mark your calendar.
But guys, it's not even June. So they're doing the same old, right. It's like,
June is actually American Greatness Month.
Yeah.
It's actually the month of the Sacred Heart.
And then July is MAGA Month.
Yeah, MAGA Month. Right.
Yeah.
But this is what's so crazy. It's like you're seeing this, and
I think
it's mind blowing to me that people who can't have kids, want to exploit all of the LGBTQ community to kids. It doesn't even make sense to me. It's bizarre.
I think they crossed the line. I think these corporations,
satanic.
They've reached the point where regular people are just saying, we are not accepting of this. We don't care if you're privately in your own home. We don't care if you want to live your life and be happy. But you started putting on prominent display in front of our children. You started having people do sexual things in the streets at these pride parades, which they do. You had, I think it was in Florida, they said you can't have grooming, you can't have adult shows for children. So one town canceled their pride parade. Yeah. What were they intending to show kids at these pride parades?
But why are they so obsessed with kids? I mean,
they're just saying they're saying the quiet part very loud lately.
Exactly,
is what's happening.
They didn't have no interest in kids. Like there's this play of like, oh, we're just trying to open up the eyes of children that we don't want to have. Like the vast majority of any gay couple that exists doesn't have kids. They have no interest at all. And so this isn't a lifestyle. This isn't a simple lifestyle conversation. This is literal straight up perversion, just trying to take advantage of.
But the main point here that I want to make sure we're on is the victory of the boycotts.